YouTube, it's me, at True Star Screamer, and we are looking at the power of the Prime Masters. I got the entire first wave in one set, so I figured I'd review them all for you all in one set. In order, we have Micronus, we have Liege Maximo, and we have Vector Prime. And of course, all these guys are in their respective little Prime Master armors, where we have Cloudburst, Skullgrin, and the one that makes me very excited, Metal Hawk. As I get so excited, I stumble over my words. Anyway, I love these three. There's a lot of neat things going on with them. My first big complaint is the fact that we didn't get any kind of collector card with these. Why, you say? Because I love the box art on these things. Just as an example, there's the Micronus Cloudbreak one, and it's a shame I don't have a version of this art to keep. Yes, I do keep the collector's card, so that's just me. First thing I want to talk about are these pretender shells. One of the neat things I like about these is they're almost all unique sculpts. I mean, the tooling, of course, is individual, but the tooling is, of course, universal, but the sculpts, Hasbro had an opportunity of going really cheap here, and they didn't. I mean, let's just look at the shared parts, which is the legs on all these. On all three of these, they're different. The fronts, the actual feet are a little different. A little more blocky with Skullgrin, a little more defined with Metal Hawk. The arms are all different. Even when you look at the backs here, they're all different. Heck, even the handles have different sculptings. So this was a chance that Hasbro could have gone really cheap, one that I wouldn't have minded, and they didn't. So absolute kudos to them. The other neat thing with these guys, they are painted. I mean, yes, red plastic, and we got paint here, paint here, paint here, paint here, paint here, even a little Tampodon Autobot symbol. I love it. Skullgrin. Paint here, paint here, paint here. Decepticon symbol. And Metal Hawk is so well done. It's almost a shame that these are these little mini-size guys, but I am really, really pleased. Articulation's the same on all of them. The arms do this, and that's about it. On their backs, the weapon here can be removed and held. So the pretenders can actually walk around with some firepower, even though it is greatly outscaled. Though I have to say, while easy to remove, it's a little bit of a pain plugging these bad boys back in. There we go. Got it. With a resounding snap. Now these are all pretender shells. So, they do open up and have their respective robot inside. And again, unique tooling on all of these guys, and a little bit of paint on the faces. So bring one of these guys up here. You can actually see the face. I mean, you compare this to some of the Titan Master heads. Let's see if I've got one over here. Oh, hi, Braun. Look at that. There's absolutely no personality. It's all bland plastic. Just that little bit of color makes the world of difference. Now, these guys fit a little tight in here, which is nice. I will have to say, I think Liege here is probably the trickiest to get out. And they stand fine, provided you have a nice flat surface. You know, there we go. And of course, they can mix and match. And you can put you can you can try to put a Titan Master in there, but it really won't close up. I will say that. So the faces are just have a little more depth to it with like the crest like with Braun here. So, but aside from that, the bots themselves are the same tooling as the Titan Master. It's just the backs are different where they have their respective symbols. These guys here. Hold on one second. Okay, sorry for that quick edit. But with these guys here, when you have the little like the armor from like Prime Master Jazz or Power type, you can just fit those in there, which they're a little bit awkward, I have to say, but kind of works. And then of course you could put that on their chest, or when you have a big guy like this that you haven't reviewed yet because you keep getting distracted by the things, you can actually plug it right in there. So now he's wielding the power of Liege Maximo, kind of like his Matrix. As well as, speaking of Matrix, if you had Leader Prime or something, you could plug that in there. And also, when you have one of the Legends ones, they can drive these guys around in here as well. Finally, and I have to admit, this is kind of one of my favorite aspects, all three of these guys are essentially target masters. So, they fall flat on their face, you flip the weapon up around, and you flip the peg back here. And these are all kind of reminiscent of classic target master weapons, well, at least these two guys are. This actually kind of reminds me also of Grimlock's rifle, which he sorely needs. And this one reminded me of Nightstick. But, and this is kind of the thing I like story-wise, because in the weapon mode, you can then take the Prime Master and plug it into the weapon itself. So it kind of makes it like the power of the Prime Master can now be channeled through the weapon. So as opposed to not just powering up a transformer when they combine with it, they can actually weaponize themselves. So when you have somebody, say, Windcharger, another figure I haven't reviewed, who doesn't have a way to wield a Prime Master, he can now use the weapon and channel whatever powers they have. So a ton of play value. I will also say, of the three, I probably like Metalhawk the best still, even though this is kind of cool. He's like a double Gatling gun. And Skullgrin here is a melee weapon, which just kind of looks silly, I guess. Plus, I don't have many Decepticons for him to wield him. But still, a lot of cool play value with this. So if you still play with your toys, or if you force kids, you absolutely will have a lot of fun with it. Needless to say, I am a fan of this. Hasbro, you just found a way to mix up a ton of crazy gimmicks from the 80s all into one line. I mean, we've got Power Masters, we've got Pretenders, we've got Target Masters. You can also technically use these guys as Headmasters because their heads are the same port. They just look really weird. So that's like 4 lines all mixed into one. Plus, you got the huge nostalgia factor of these old G1 lines. This was like, I'm really looking forward to get one with Bludgeon and some of the other Pretenders and a whole. I'm also wondering if we're going to get the classic Pretenders like Jazz and Bumblebee. I really don't know, and I'm really excited. So, Hasbro, I gotta give you points. You get an A. You get an A on this execution on this. So, and speaking of getting A's, if you like this video, please give a thumbs up. Please give a subscribe. Please tell your friends. And remember, when it comes to collections, size is the prize. Shelves being full is the goal. And until next time, take care.